These are probably the worst texts I've seen. I don't know why you're sending kissy faces. Opinion of the victim is actually not at all relevant. It has actually nothing to do with whether or not they were abused, because you are assuming that if a person has been groomed or if a person is being victimized or sex trafficked, that their mind is f***ed anyway.
Yeah, you want to disrespect me? You want to disrespect me?
We had a private conversation with Kris Tyson about the fact that Shadman had drawn his daughter when she was, I believe, 8 years old, like giving to Donald Trump.
Wait, hold on. I'm so sorry. I short-circuited halfway through that sentence. I'm sorry. Shadman drew whose daughter? Give me the best summary video of this. This? Okay. Jamari. Good luck.
So recently, MrBeast became the most subscribed to person on the entire platform. Year after year, he has consistently dropped some of the biggest videos on YouTube, and he's the type of guy that really prides himself on avoiding any sort of controversy around his name. And in general, it seems like he really just wants to have fun while helping people out and making these different big ideas of his come to life. But one controversial topic around...
I feel like there are 3 ways that you can engage with like family-friendly people. 2 of them are fine, and 1 of them is incredibly f***ing cringe. The first way is like fans would, where you see it and it's like, oh, this is like a family-friendly account. We can engage with it. There's no swear words, whatever. You know, I'm a fan of this account. The second way is like, I guess how I would engage with it. I kind of think this, when they're like very friendly and they're very, they try to be very palatable to everybody. It's a little cringe, and it's like, okay, whatever. This is like a very like corporate say, very family-friendly account, whatever. So I don't care as much. And then there's like the third way, which is ultra omega cringe, which is, this account, is this family friendly? I know the guy is actually secretly super fucking evil, that I'm gonna spend my whole fucking life trying to convince everybody else this is family friendly, guy is actually super fucking evil. Did you know Taylor Swift and MrBeast and all these people are actually fucking the most evil? It's like, okay, bro.
Him and his brand has been one of his best friends, Kris. Kris has been with Jimmy since the start of his days on YouTube and is actually one of his childhood friends. And over time, the audience came to know and love Kris like they do many of the other recurrent people on the channel. Well, you might remember last year we talked about Kris in a highly controversial video posted by SunnyV2, and the main topic being discussed in this video was Kris becoming, well, Kris with a K, and transitioning from a man to a woman. Needless to
Wait, from Kris to Kris? Is that real? That's pretty fucking memes if that's true, but okay.
To say, the reception for this video was really all over the place. Over the years, people had come to know Kris as a married Christian family man, so many fans and critics alike did find his transition to be a little bit jarring, including Nick Merckx, who has been very vocal about his opinions. Now, MrBeast has made it beyond clear that Kris is his day one best friend, and he will always support him, even expressing displeasure towards people who had bad things to say about Kris, and claiming that he is an amazing parent. Even till this day, it's like constantly a huge topic of discussion online, because not only is it such a hot topic in general, but he's also involved with the biggest YouTuber in the world. And now Kris is once again being discussed, and it seems like their past is coming back to haunt them in the form of some strange tweets. Above that, there's also some more recent allegations that point towards Kris having a Dr. Disrespect type of relationship with a fan. First, let's talk about this video that recently came out and now went viral that shows old tweets from Kris back in the 2017 to 2018 range. This video immediately connects Kris with a person named Shadman, who is known for his explicit drawings online, and he apparently got famous for depicting all kinds of disgusting things in these drawings, including underage individuals in these illustrations doing vile things. Like, anyone who thinks this stuff is okay needs to be thrown under the jail with the likes of EDP. Basically, weirdos use this art angle as a bypass to enjoy, though the
Shadman draws a lolicon, basically. He made a very, very, very beautiful picture of me when we were fighting with all the animators. Very talented artist. I am now a paraplegic after this drawing. 2017, Jesus. Long time ago. Why the cuck thing before Melina? Wait. What? Oh, I think back then, I think cuck was just kind of a more general insult. Well, I feel like I remember hearing Sargon and them use this a lot. but it became the cuck stuff became more. Back then, I think you just kind of like called everybody a cuck because it was whatever. But then when the red pill stuff came in, people started to get like super obsessed with like the cuck hunting stuff. Yeah, there's like a lib cuck and everything. But I think even from 2016 onwards, I think the Gamergate stuff, people would do it.
The legality of it does
more of a Chad versus cuck thing, yeah.
Still seem kind of vague to me. Well, basically, back in the day, Kris posted a ton about Shadman, and even had his artwork up at his house in the background of an old MrBeast video. He also posted several tweets about enjoying this type of artwork in general, and other suggestive posts about various cartoon characters. Type of artwork of an old MrBeast video. He also posted several tweets about enjoying.
How old is Kris, MrBeast? I was hoping. Oh wait, Tyson. Okay, they're 28 years old. And then these tweets are from 2016. It's about 8 years ago. So they're like 2020. I don't give a fuck. Okay, so they're jerking it to some lolly. All right.
This type of artwork in general, and other suggestive posts about various cartoon characters. And even though most of these posts are like 7 years old at this point, at the time he was still a 21-year-old man. And this isn't just like some racist stuff or something that there could be like more gray area on. Or you could say, oh, that was just like part of the times back then. This is some weird shit that he was interested in to a massive extent. Like a grown man hanging a picture on their wall of this nasty stuff takes quite a bit of premeditated thought. So obviously people already thought that that was very strange of him, but it's really nothing compared to this more damning allegation, where people are claiming to have exposed Kris for having an inappropriate relationship with a 13-year-old fan when he was 20 years old, and that this online communication continued for several years. Shout out to this man Prism, who is the first one to bring this to light. So there's this kid who goes by the nickname LavaGS online, and it seems like he was a massive MrBeast fan back in the day, and even got to work for Jimmy at some point in the past helping with his gaming channel. It seemed like over the years they developed several channels of communication, from Snapchats to Twitter messages. It seemed like over the years they developed several channels of communication, from Snapchat.
Okay, Snap thing.
Chats to.
Fuck me, dude. I suck at Snapchat. I barely use this app. But is this, if the name is in the top, doesn't this mean it's just a story? Am I wrong? Or hold on, I hate this fucking app. It's legitimately, I don't know why anybody uses it. Oh, and I don't even know how to find anything, because when I swipe in a direction, it brings up my camera. I don't know anything. Destiny, no, pretty sure. That's a DM. Oh no, if it's a story, it'll have a bar at the top. Okay, never mind.
Chats to Twitter messages, Discord DMs, and private gaming sessions. Which, let me just pause the video right there and say that I already have a problem with that. Unless someone is like your cousin or related to you in some way, there is absolutely no reason that a 20-year-old needs to be having all these different private conversations with someone who's in middle school.
Well, I mean, the only exception I could see is if, because it's saying here, it makes it sound like they have some kind of working relationship. Kris DMing on Twitter asked me to come help him on Beast's stream. Was he working for him? Or
Discord DMs and private gaming sessions. He felt so comfortable with Kris, to the point that he was asking him about his addiction to adult cartoons. And they were having a lot of inappropriate banter publicly on Twitter when Lava was only 14.
Guys, we are so close to our goal. Oh my god, one more Patreon and I'm releasing my nudes. And this is the part I have a problem with. This isn't a group chat. This is literally just him and this other guy that he's been talking to and that he's friends with online. Lava says, I'm your first Patreon, big boy. And he shows that he donated some money. He donated like $1 or something. So it's not enough to meet the goal. And he says, but not $5. Pathetic. Just kidding. Kissy face. I'll tell you what it means. It means that you are telling him that he needs to donate $5 so you can release your or whatever. He says, wait till my Twitch revenue comes in. Winky face. And of course, it continues. He says, check again. And he tags you, I think. At least that must be you, or he's tagging you. And of course, he says, I posted some fire news for you. Please no share. And this is someone that you're talking to that is 14 years old, that you know is 14. And at the end of the day, you cannot be talking about topics like this with someone that is this young.
So at the very least, these two had a close enough relationship where Kris felt comfortable making these adult jokes towards him, and at the very worst, he's literally flirting with a 14-year-old on the timeline. But by the time Lava would turn 16, he would apparently even meet up with Kris at some point, and he even talked about this extensively on like a MrBeast Discord server. Now I do want to make it clear that this guy Prism, who made this video, spoke privately with this Lava guy, and Prism claims that Lava's statement is that nothing bad ever happened when they met up back in the day, and that basically their relationship never really got inappropriate. And as I'm editing this video, video, guys, Lava actually took to Twitter to make his own statement about the situation, where he says, "These videos are massive lies and twisting the truth. Ava never did anything wrong and just made a few edgy jokes. I was never exploited or taken advantage of. Can you do me a favor and comment on these videos and tell them to stop spreading lies? The situation takes away from children who are actively being exploited every day online. I'm not a victim of anything being claimed in these videos or at all." And keep in mind, that's after this morning he removed all affiliation with MrBeast from his Twitter page. And now we have yet another update where Keemstar has jumped into the picture. He says that MrBeast connected him with this guy Lava directly, and that Lava is denying all of these allegations, and now claiming that him and Kris did not have any sort of private interactions, and that when he went to meet up with Kris, that apparently his entire family and the MrBeast crew were present. I ran Discord with Kris Tyson when I was 13, edgy and inappropriate jokes were said. That's it. So take with that what you will.
I hate how this is formatted like a commentary video, and it feels like it was edited by AI. It also sounds like it was written by fucking AI. So the synopsis is, Ava used to like, stops giving? No, because the synopsis of the video is Ava used to like Shadman in 2017. Don't watch that fucking dog shit video. So bad. Such an awful and terribly formatted video. Literally the worst fucking YouTube video I've seen in a long time.
So from the start, you can tell that this guy Ethan feels some sort of personal connection to the call out in that video. Just like the sheer amount of anger you can see pulsing through his very tired face. To me, kind of tells the whole story of what his opinion is about to be. Yes, that video that he was watching, it wasn't like the best made video I've ever seen, but it's something that I would expect from kind of like a novice commentary channel. And I do think it was very important for kind of kicking off this expose. But let's hear what Ethan thinks.
Literally just to be like, MrBeast's friend 7 years ago had some inappropriate tweets that were a really bad look. You're avoiding the video? That's the whole point. What am I avoiding?
The truth that it doesn't matter that it happened 7 years ago. This guy was into some absolutely diabolical shit.
Didn't like most of the internet at the time with Shadman? Yes. For some reason, yes.
So his excuse for this disgusting behavior is that apparently most of the internet, they were f***ing with this nasty loser who was making these disgusting drawings. I mean, first of all, that just has to be a blatant lie. And to me, the shit he was into is just like inexcusable. I don't give a f***. When it happened, he was already an adult man.
I don't need to see the whole thing. It's bad. It's a bad video.
And I think that he's claiming it's a bad video because politically it doesn't align perfectly with him.
I'm sorry. It was 7 years ago.
You know how many times this guy Ethan has likely judged people for things that they did more than a decade ago just because they do not align with him politically? Like, that seems to be his whole shtick, is that if you're a conservative because he's very obviously a big-time liberal, well, it's just f*** you. He's never going to give you the benefit of the doubt. He's going to take your words and misconstrue them. But oh, when it's someone who's on his side of history, well, he's going to ride with them to the very end.
I don't want to see it. It's irrelevant. That doesn't make it okay. It's not relevant, though. Is that a gross thing to do? Is it unacceptable? Yeah. But, like, the anti-cancel culture warriors all of a sudden are like, wait, liking tweets from 7 years ago. Why are we even talking about MrBeast's friend? Because she's MrBeast's friend.
Yeah, and MrBeast has the biggest platform literally in the entire world.
Since this time, Kris transitioned and is now Ava.
And that's fine, but it doesn't just absolve you of all the nasty shit you were doing before you transitioned.
To give you an idea of how fucking long ago this was! Stop being defensive. You follow Kris on Twitter. Dude, this was a completely different...
This is the guy who helped fabricate super mega false allegations? Who, the guy in the hoodie here or the guy with the bleached hair here? I don't remember.
Time. I was in high school when this happened. I had no idea who fucking MrBeast was, and neither did MrBeast. He wasn't even around. What are you saying?
I think that the point they're trying to make is that every single time this type of topic comes up, whether it's someone actually like trying to talk to someone who's underage or just having this type of peculiar behavior, you always seem to be on the side where you are literally rushing to defend the person who's just being absolutely disgusting.
Are you trying to cancel MrBeast too? Because he had that in his living room? It was in MrBeast's living room. Should he be canceled too? You can't ever defend MrBeast ever again. Don't ever defend him or watch him.
Yeah, MrBeast doesn't have a bunch of old tweets linking him to this freak and suggesting that he was a massive fan of him. I guarantee you that if Jimmy was doing that shit back in the day, it would have been brought to light long ago and his feet would have been held to the same fire.
It shows a bias. Towards what?
Towards creeps.
Do you want to keep acting like MrBeast should be canceled forever or something?
No one one time said MrBeast should be canceled. You're the only one bringing him up at this point. I mean, everyone really just wants Kris to come out and explain why he was in...
What's your take? I don't know. I don't give a fuck. He jerked it to Lolicon? I super don't care. This like one of the things I don't care at all. He talked to minors? Did he say anything inappropriate? It probably shouldn't be. It's a bad idea for a variety of reasons, and you expose yourself to potential liability just because people make videos like this. But like, is there anything bad that actually happened in any of this, or because it seems all like the most boring, stupid shit in the world?
Into that weird shit.
You should not be apologetic. I'm not apologetic, and now you're literally misgendering Kris.
He's probably more upset about that than he is about the core matter here that Kris was on some weird shit. I mean, this guy's brain is so dense. It just honestly starts to make me a little bit upset. Like, how can someone be so confident in this way of thinking and just be so wrong?
You're spelling it the way she changed it to, but you're misgendering her. So I think that shows that you have a pretty severe bias, actually. You actually have a bias that leads you outside of reality and away from logic and truth.
Dude, it has to be one of the most ironic statements I've ever heard in my entire life.
Why are you being defensive? Well, you're just changing the complete conversation because you don't have anything to say.
Yeah, it's gotta be the most ironic video of all time. Listen, Ethan, get some help, bro. As for Kris, we're gonna need some answers. Like, in my opinion, MrBeast don't really need to say shit about this. But Kris, like, if you want to continue to have a platform online, you need to explain yourself a little bit. Like, him just wiping his entire Twitter clean, it just does not look very good to me. But y'all let me know what you guys think down below. I will continue to keep y'all updated on this situation. As always, I do want to thank you guys for watching today's video, dropping a like and subscribing. But as you guys know, it's been your boy, the Tan Superman, and some other internet news out here.
I follow mostly only influential creators here, yet most have been silent about the Kris Tyson situation. Pretty deviant behavior across the board. Weirdo. Can't wait to read some of the cope justifications of why it wasn't addressed. What is... Wait, okay, is there other shit that got leaked?
Please no share. And this is someone that you're talking to that is 14 years old, that you know is 14, and at the end of the day, you cannot be talking about topics like this with someone that is this young. Even if it's in this joking context, I'm not really sure what the joke is here, but...
Why do people do this? People did this with me with the Courtney joke too. If you don't like a joke, or if you don't think that the thing is appropriate to joke about, then don't... Why people are like, I don't even know what the joke is. It's pretty obvious what the joke is, right? What do you mean you don't know what the joke is? Now you can say I don't find it funny or I don't think it's appropriate. That's fine. But like, I don't even see what's humorous about this. Like, what are you? Some 47-year-old, like Christian pastor? Get the fuck out of here.
This is someone. Keep in mind, you're bisexual. Okay, you're talking to.
What? What? Okay, I'm sorry. Church is in session. The fuck? Damn. Came out of left field.
A guy that is 14 and you're in college, and the premise here.
A guy? Don't you mean a boy?
Is you guys are joking with each other about sending nudes. That's illegal. You can't do that.
You can't joke about it? It's illegal to tell jokes? I'm sorry, I thought this was America. What? I know he means it's illegal to send nudes to each other, obviously. But what is, yeah, no shit. People joke about doing illegal things? You know drugs are illegal too in the United States, right? Like.
And let me just say like this, it doesn't matter if you're joking or not. Solicitation is solicitation. There should be zero discussion about anybody sending anyone who's 14 years old nudes of any kind, okay? I don't know. I'm not quite sure if you sent this guy nudes or not. For all I know, this very well could be a joke. But you are talking inappropriately to a guy who is 14 years old and to a guy who you know is 14 years old, and that's what I have a problem with. What I have a problem with here is the way that you're talking to him, and the fact that he's asking you about animated pornography, and this is one of your friends with online, which by the way, you shouldn't even be friends with a middle schooler to begin with because you're in college. You should be going to a bar and trying to meet people or talk to people that are your own age, not to middle schoolers. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? That's weird. And right here, look at this. He says, lol, I just saw, hold up, I got you, dad. So again, this guy who's 14 is calling him big boy. Chris is calling him dad. They're sending kissy faces, they're sending winky faces, and the premise is he's sending nudes basically. And he's telling him to donate more so he can send him nudes, and then he said he sent him nudes. I don't care if you're just gonna say that this is a joke. This dude's 14 years old and you're in college. You shouldn't even be talking to this guy in the first place. It's sick. I mean it. It's disgusting. It's not okay. It's not okay. I know Jimmy might come out to defend this kind of behavior. Like maybe you guys joke about sending nudes.
Why did he move this?
I know Jimmy might come out to defend this kind of behavior. Like maybe you guys joke about sending nudes to 14-year-olds.
Why did he move that? What happened? What's going on in this video?
Disgusting. It's not okay. It's not okay. I know Jimmy might come out to defend this kind of behavior. Like maybe you guys joke about sending nudes to 14-year-olds often. I don't know if you guys do that. I don't know if you guys joke about sending nudes to 14-year-olds.
Did he hit it with his hand a few times? He needs move. He needs space to emote.
But that happened, and it's right here, and it's still up online. And I gotta say, this is some.
Wait a second. Is this background real? Is he real? Is this AI?
Really messed up stuff. You should not be talking to a 14-year-old this way under any context. You shouldn't be saying it in a joking manner. You shouldn't be saying it in any kind of manner. Because this is someone that you talk to one-on-one. You shouldn't even be talking to a middle schooler one-on-one. It's freaking weird. And of course, you have other stuff right here. This is a bad way to hide your hentai. I don't know, like, what exactly are you discussing with this guy, man? Why is he asking you about hentai so much? Why is he talking about hentai with you? Again, super young. Oh my god. Love how I set up that embed, shows you looking sexy. I don't really think he should be calling you sexy, but I get it. He's trying to say it makes you look good. Chris, will you be my Valentine? Thank you, Dad! Exclamation point, heart. Thanks, Lava. Love ya. And just in case you wanted more proof of this guy talking to him on Discord, here you go. February 7th, 2019. And
why did he print these out? It's so dramatic.
Of course, he's saying Lava's mom tomorrow, and boom. How old would you have been there? Yeah,
there's no reason to talk about Lolly with 14-year-olds? Who would understand Lolly better but a 14-year-old? What do you mean?
Been 15 at that time.
Joke.
He even says, January 13th, 2019, my friend Lava GS is live on Twitch. Go spam lobster in the chat. Okay, this one here, this one's clearly an edgy meme. It says, objectively, the easiest way to prevent a rape is to start consenting. That's, yeah, just that one's a joke. You have right here the server that he made.
Wait,
objectively,
there's not even a minor involved here. It's just an edgy joke. He's just upset about an edgy joke. I guess it kind of boiled down to, is it inappropriate to talk to a minor about fetishes? I mean, like, the very finely, like, threaded the needle answer there is going to depend on how the conversations are being used. Like, if you're getting off to it, it's probably not ethical. But, like, so for instance, if he's making a lot of these jokes privately, that's a lot more weird because it's like, okay, wait, are you trying to, like, angle this into an actual sexual conversation? Or, but if it's all just, like, public tweets and shit, I mean, you can argue it's inappropriate if the person's younger, but I don't care that much.
The easiest way to prevent a rape is to start consenting. That's Yeah, just that one's any joke. You have right here this server that he made. There's Kris in the server, and it turns out that Jimmy's in the same server as this guy. I don't know when Jimmy started talking to this guy. I know that he was mainly Kris Tyson's friend. He wasn't really Jimmy's friend, but still, he was also DMing him at one point. But I don't think Jimmy was really this guy's friend. So, and here we're gonna get to the part where he was meeting up with him in person. We're gonna talk about that. So again, I have no idea if this
Why is he moving this all over the table? What is happening with this?
was meeting up with him in person. We're gonna talk about that. So again, I have no idea if this
Is it like a meme for his videos? Is this like a thing he wants to...
guy, anything happened to this guy physically. I can only show that they're talking about inappropriate topics with each other. I can show that there's a vast age difference, that he should not have been socializing with this guy in the first place, but he did. And the fact that he was able, like the moment he was able to meet up with him, he met up with him in person, which I think is highly inappropriate since he was talking to this guy since he was 13, and he's also attracted to men, and the guy's a guy. It's highly
because he's bought. Just as a quick thing, just as a heads up, I guess, like straight people can rape people of the same sex, especially children, especially if they're in positions of power with them over long periods of time as well. Okay, don't be like mind by that. Like, oh, it's a straight guy, so he could never rape, this little boy, or this is a straight woman, so she could never rape this little girl. Don't let your mind like fool yourself into thinking that's the case.
inappropriate. The circumstances he showed up in is inappropriate. Here we go. So this one's in Carl's server. Right here. It's a Discord messaging. Discord messaging. He said, I love Carl though. I drove from West Virginia to North Carolina. I'm sitting in a camper in the woods right now. I love Carl though. So Carl is amazing, and that is a fact. True. He hugged me before Kris managed to. Carl sleep. I'm just friends with Carl. I don't need mod. His mod team is already top notch. Why do you want to come to North Carolina? Because winky face. Winky face. Carl simps for me. Who doesn't simp for Carl? I think we all simp for Carl. I know, right, TE? Offering to buy me ice cream if I do stuff for him. Why do you want to come to North Carolina? And money. Sneak me away from New York to North Carolina, that's why. Carl simps for me. Who doesn't simp for Carl? Boy Jedi.
Okay. Kris Tyson from MrBeast is far worse than Dr. Disrespect, but the so-called influencers haven't said a word about it. One, Kris had inappropriate conversations with several minors. Used the N-word with the hard R. Whoa! Provided revenge for kids. What? Okay, 3, that's a big claim. What is that about? We've got Tyson Snapchats to Ava. Or Ava is Tyson, sorry. Whose snap is this? Whose snap is this? Me. To Kris Tyson. Old video with revenge porn of a girl from iCarly. I don't know if you heard about my bathwater prank and how crazy it's gone, but my stock is actually sold out at the moment. Rather than bringing it back, I'm actually looking to bottle a whole bath on video into a giant tub and ship it to whoever buys it. I just want to reach out in advance because I know this is the kind of content MrBeast does, just to give you a heads up. Let me know if this is something that might interest him. Thanks, Belle. Who's Belle? Is she a minor or Belle Delphine? Was she a minor? Or I don't understand. What is this? Who cares about these snaps then? They're just scrolling through Snapchat.
I know, dude. I would come inside of that egg and then watch her eat it, and then watch her have sex with another man while she comments about how my genitalia can never satisfy her. He gets cancer in the mouth.
That's just this Kris guy's being edgy on Discord.
I gotta say that is one of the not good places.
I hope he goes his entire life not smoking a single cigarette, and then when he gets 80, he just gets fucked with by some dude with some cancer, and he shoves it in his mouth and gets mouth cancer.
Yeah, that's hot.
Mouth.
Okay.
How's it going, you guys? So, recently everybody's been hearing about the Janette McCurdy leak of her photo. What the story is, she sent pictures to her boyfriend, her now ex-boyfriend, and he leaked them out, and she is a very popular Nickelodeon star on the show iCarly, and probably be seen as the pulling of the show. It'll probably be taken off the air. Second off, you'll probably see the photos get taken down at some point tonight, maybe tomorrow, because Nickelodeon has that kind of power. But the link's in the description if you want to see them. I mean, I'm not endorsing people to go look at somebody else's private business, but I know that, people might want to see them, so it's there if you want it. First off, what I have to say, though, is that when you look on the news, you see people, they've leaked nudes from their girlfriend at a high school, and that girl kills herself. It's a tragic story. Everybody calls the guy a bully. But yeah, when people like Perez Hilton do it, it's considered entertainment. So
why would you link them?
you're gonna have to think about where the right and wrong is, really.
Did he know that she was a minor, or was she even a minor in these pictures, or?
And I think it's all wrong. Personally, I don't think somebody should leak photos that were sent in trust. But
No, she wasn't.
I guess if that's how President Hilton wants to make his living, it's up to him. You decide. You decide if it's moral or
He sounds like he's like 19 years old in this video. Who?
if it's immoral. Thanks for watching, guys.
Okay. What is this?
What? What?
Whoa.
You do know I'm watching this for 10 hours straight on a live stream. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he said the N-word.
Well, you just said the N-word.
But I'm not relevant.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I guess you can say the N-word. What?
Text from 2018 between me and Chris. I was 14, he was 22. My friend made a fucking school shooter threat and might give me his skins because he's got it for life. LOL, what the fuck, you for real? Yeah, it was crazy. LOL, did the school expel him? 2 kissy things. Of course, Dad. This is the best Snapchat I've ever seen. Haha, when it's your wedding, you can do what you want. LOL. These are probably the worst texts we've seen, but I mean, like, half of this shit is deleted, so... These are probably the worst texts I've seen. Really, just like, I don't know why you're sending kissy faces. The lava person has tweeted over and over again, apparently, that they felt like the other person didn't do anything wrong. The 2 main accusations are Ava and Shadman. Old tweets resurfaced from Ava's Twitter in which she was fawning over lol. Okay, don't care. Ava was accused of having sexually explicit conversations with a minor, including grooming. The minor, which was alleged to be involved, has since come out to shoot down the allegations. Okay, this is it. What a waste of fucking time.
Wrong, and for you to make up these lies and create these narratives is just wrong. Also, when you interviewed me for a supposed editing job, why did you lie? Okay. Also, when you interviewed me for a supposed editing job, why did you lie? So you can take the clips out of context. This is disgusting. So, what's your response to that?
Well, I was told to just wait until the video to address this, but I'm fine with addressing it right here, really quick. So the Twitter messages, they are authentic. Chris, he's like this super creepy dude. If he said any of these things in person, he would have been arrested and removed from middle school grounds because adults, they cannot talk to kids like that.
What? I think that there's a crime called the it's not sexualization of a minor. Is it corruption of a minor? What am I thinking of? Does anybody know what I'm thinking of? It's not desecration. Isn't there a name? It might just be corruption of a minor. Any person who commits any act which tends to cause, encourages, or contributes to a child becoming a delinquent or dependent child or a child in need of services. That's not it. Well, or induces or endeavors to induce by act, threat, command, or persuasion a child commit or perform any act, follow any course of conduct, or live in a manner that causes or tends to cause such child to become or to remain a dependent or delinquent child or a child in need of services, commits a misdemeanor of the first degree or punishment. It is not necessary for any court exercise to make any. And then a person 21 years of age or older who impregnates a child under 16 years of age commits an act of child abuse, which constitutes a felony of the 3rd degree. Okay, this isn't really it. Or different states might have different laws for this. The idea that, like, telling a joke to a minor, like, am I going to go to jail? 'Cause I stopped doing this, but I used to, because I was so into your mom jokes. I used to tell Nathan, like, I used to say, like, F your mom jokes. Because it worked, but I was like, I probably shouldn't make these jokes too.
It's like this super creepy dude. If he said any of these things in person, he would have been arrested and removed from middle school grounds because adults, they cannot talk to kids like that.
Is that illegal? Arrest me, okay? Put me in the slammer, chief.
That. I'd love to hear his opinion about the tweets, since he wants to say that, like, I'm in the wrong, or I took it out of context. We'll put it into context then, Lava, because I showed the tweets, and, you know, I asked you, would you care to comment about it?
Nathan is your son? That's very different. Okay, hold on. I'm only addressing these because you guys should know this. Number one, I'm pretty sure that the highest likelihood for abuse for children, I think, is family members. And then, like, babysitters and teachers. It's people who spend a lot of time around them with in positions of power. Let me check this. I'll Google this since I'm trying to correct you, and I don't want to be incorrect. Who is the most likely person to sexually abuse a child? Most often, sexual abusers know the child they abuse but are not relatives. Oh, okay. So 60% are non-relative acquaintances, such as friend of the family, okay, babysitter or neighbor. Usually it's people, I do know that it's usually people who are in positions of power over them for extended periods of time. So that's why I said babysitter and teacher. About 30% of those who sexually abuse children are relatives of the child, such as fathers, uncles, or cousins. And then 30% are, that's still a huge number. The idea that just because you're related to somebody means you can't sexually abuse them is completely not true. But it doesn't make 30% up of the child.
He didn't comment about it. Like, I want your opinion about this, but you're not giving it. And I think the reason why is because you know the tweets are real, and you know like he was caught or messaging you inappropriately. I think that's why you don't want to respond to it.
Okay, because I mean, certainly I can understand where people might look at this and think that you're almost trying to turn this person into a victim when they're saying they're not a victim, right? Like, I guess why is it your right to tell the story when the person that was apparently involved in groomed is saying something totally different?
I mean, I'm just telling you what I found online.
Okay, well,
that's not even a good answer. It's a decent question if Chud knows the answer. I don't know if he does or not. Technically, when you're talking about child sexual abuse, the opinion of the victim is actually not at all relevant. It has actually nothing to do with whether or not they were abused. In fact, there's a lot of good reasons not to take the word of the victim at face value ever. We learned this, for instance, when you look at Romanian sex trafficking laws. The testimony from a victim can never be used to exonerate the accused because you're assuming that if a person has been groomed or if a person is being victimized or sex trafficked, that their mind is fucked anyway and they're going to say whatever. So technically, it really doesn't matter what a victim says or an alleged victim says. They could have still been groomed and felt like they weren't groomed. That's kind of sort of the point of grooming, right? Is you don't realize that something bad is happening. Although you can, right? But
you know, again, just to be clear, I think some of the stuff you showed is extremely troubling and it's worthy of putting out there. But you were also, I think, making links and connections. Like, for example, you talked about how there was an implication that there was some sort of nudes that were sent.
Well, because he literally had messaged him that.
So that was up the Twitter thing, right?
Yes. It was on Twitter. I mean, like, if you go to it.
Defend grooming, please. Well, if it's a 30-year-old person grooming a 12-year-old, imagine all the horrible things that a 12-year-old could be exposed to by other children. But if he just has a good adult to guide him.
Advanced Twitter search. And you type in LavaGS's name. Those tweets are still up on his site. You can see it right now. I mean, Chris isn't because he deleted his Twitter, but you can see LavaGS's tweets on that are still up right now. And that's the thing is, I think it's really interesting how he wants to say that I was taking it out of context or that I'm in the wrong about this, but then he can't address those tweets. Like, did he or did he not message you those things? Because we literally have screen recordings, dude.
Sure, but I guess the point I'm making is you're saying you're showing what you found online.
Yes.
That's true to a degree, but then you're also editorializing what you found in your video and talking about it and making connections and conclusions.
Well, I didn't make
a narrative.
I didn't make a complete conclusion because I said I don't know if something physically happened to him. All I can show is that Kris Tyson messaged him inappropriately and met up with him 2 years later. I can show that.
We aren't calling Kris a P-word, right? We aren't doing that. We're just showing our stuff, and if people want to make their own, conclusions based on that, that's up to them. But I'm not calling Kris at all that.
Yeah, I mean, I said it earlier in the live stream, but I'm not like saying that he ever like physically diddled the kid. I never said that. What I said is that I can prove he messaged him inappropriately, met up with him in person. It might have happened. We honestly don't know, and that's what we kind of need answers for.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I would absolutely agree on is I think there's enough here that it does warrant a response from Kris and MrBeast, the Shadman stuff, and then this. But it's I don't know. It's difficult because I can also see a narrative or perspective where this person wants to offer some defense or cover for them. But like, I guess again, because there's some stuff that isn't nailed on in the video, that would make a lot stronger case that would kind of discount someone saying, well, it wasn't like this and it wasn't like this, So
yeah,
so you're going to make another video with a stronger like aspects to it, is that right?
Yeah, I'm going to make a comprehensive video that will blend all the information. It's going to be more watchable because I'm going to be honest. There's cicadas, there's birds. I could have done better, but I was under a time crunch because I can't talk about all the details about that.
Why are you under a time crunch? Is this guy about to go become like a preschool teacher, in like 2 weeks, or what is the time crunch?
Because and it's not about Kris Tyson, but there's like a police investigation, and I can't say anything about that. And so what I did want to say was, hold on. Yeah. Or sorry, here I'll let Veritas speak real quick.
Yeah. Right. I mean, I guess everybody. I'm looking at the chat right now. I see everybody saying, "Let's smaggle in." Let's smaggle. Okay. I don't know who that is.
Okay. Yeah. Smaggle.
Someone's pinging me right now.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. I'll bring Smaggle in just a moment because Smaggle is.
Nobody's making any sexual jokes online to you, right? No. Yeah, they better not be, because that would be horrible and inappropriate. I'm going to go through your whole Discord later. If there's any inappropriate jokes there, I'm calling the cops, and you're going to juvie. Bets on a police investigation was opened? Probably 0% chance. Why would that, and how would that impact any of who, what?
Wait.
Yeah. Right. I mean, I guess everybody. I'm looking at the chat right now. I see everybody saying, "Let's smaggle in." Let's smaggle.
Okay.
I don't know who that is.
Okay. Yeah. Smaggle.
Someone's pinging me right now.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. I'll bring Smaggle in just a moment because Smaggle is connected to some of the YouTubers. Like I think he's worked somewhat with Turkey Tom before, so he may have some information. I believe that maybe goes against some of the things you're saying. I'm not 100%. We'll do that in just a moment. But yeah, I mean, I guess that like. Well, let's do it now.
Okay, sorry. I remember what I was going to say. So,
go on.
So, LavaGS, he's still in contact with Kris. Obviously, he told Kris about this. And, his response to this, I don't know if he's actually saying this or Kris is actually saying this. I'm aware that he told us when we were asking him about this sort of stuff. He completely said that there's nothing weird about Kris, but then we know that's not true because of the Shadman stuff. But he was like saying that, nothing happened and that, Kris is completely innocent.
We're playing very fast and loose with words there. There's nothing weird about Kris, but we know that about the Shadman. When they say there's nothing weird about Kris, they probably mean he wasn't like grooming or trying to, do weird shit in DMs.
Although we were very, he did think that we were having him edit for us, and that that's why he was telling us all this. Like he
wait,
was,
so,
he was fine.
so you tricked him into a conversation?
You fucking baited them.
He was fine.
Wait, let me hold on.
That's not true because of the Shadman stuff. But he was like saying that nothing happened, and that Kris is completely innocent. Although we were very, so he did think that we were having him edit for us, and that that's why he was telling us all this. Like he
wait,
was,
so
he
you
was
wait a second,
fine.
so you tricked him into a conversation?
You fucking baited them.
He was fine. He was fine with us. Okay, he didn't know why we were interviewing him, basically.
Oh, I understand now. People in chat were posting that this guy's a James O'Keefe fan, a Project Veritas interview fan. Oh, interesting. Okay.
Like the reason he said we didn't have to worry about recording around him, but he didn't know that was the reason, and it's because we literally see this guy that is into this pedophile art. He messaged a minor inappropriately, and so I could literally see, like, we tried to reach out to this guy 3 times before, and then we actually get a hold of him. And the thing is, we need to know if something happened to this guy or not. But we knew he's supporting Kris Tyson still, so we had to ask him, like, oh hey, we're making content about these creeps or whatever. We were not molested. We didn't have any groomers or anything. But we said, we had people that talked inappropriately to us. They were trying to send us pictures. Did this thing ever happen to you? And he said, no, this, it didn't happen to me. And then he specifically said, oh, Kris Tyson, there's nothing weird about that guy.
Actually, that's not completely true. He said something like that it might have happened, but he didn't really realize it. I do remember.
Oh, okay, sorry. I misspoke then. Well, here, I think I should let Birdie speak because I'm just going to ramble.
No, it's fine. I just feel like, Smaggle, wait. I'll let you go in a second. Okay? I just want to say one thing, right? And I feel like there is a case to be made here, and I think there is information that's worth having out there. And I appreciate you're small and you wanted to hand it off to people, but there has been, numerous areas of, I would argue, incompetence in going about this and baiting someone into a conversation, and then now you're getting them coming out saying this video is totally wrong. You understand this very much undermines the case you're trying to make.
Have you ever heard of James O'Keefe and Project Veritas?
Right. I mean, yeah, James O'Keefe is not like the person you should necessarily look as an avatar of success with this stuff.
No,
some of his investigations are riddled with issues, like the fucking post office thing, where that guy from the post office got led down with hearsay to act like he'd be able to prove that there was some problem with the fucking votes, and then it didn't transpire and become anything because the guy, was presented as this paragon of someone that could reveal information that didn't happen. You know what I'm talking about, right? The guy that works at the post office. He got, slung to the side.
There's a lot of things he does, so I don't know.
Okay,
the
but
ones
okay.
you're referring to.
Okay, I don't want to get too political with it, I guess. Let's just take a step back
I
to the
think
political aspect.
he does amazing work.
But this is the problem.
Oh, no.
Dude, how do you do this without getting super political? I feel like what you've done is you've got someone that you look up to in James O'Keefe, and you've tried to imitate them. And James O'Keefe isn't perfect, but you've done it in a very shitty way. So now there's problems with what you've done. You understand the problems that you presented in doing this, right?
Yes.
I mean,
I do see some of the problems. Yeah. We definitely did it.
Hold on. Don't speak for him. Let prison talk.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what was the question? Do I see the problems that it caused?
Yes.
I mean, what I
I want to be super clear. I'm trying to think of ethics for journalism. I don't know if I care in this circumstance. There might be reasons why I should care. I don't know if it's necessarily unethical or bad to do sting type operations if you're getting information. So like them pretending to interview him for a job and finding out information, I don't know if that's necessarily bad. I don't even know if that was necessarily a bad thing that O'Keefe did. The bad thing was that they didn't find solid information, or they didn't follow up well on the information they did find, and everything they investigated and then made strong claims about ended up being bullshit, and they deceptively edited their stuff. Those were the really big bad things. Not just the fact that they were like sting or secret interviews. It was the fact that they didn't find much, but they tried to pretend that they found way more than they actually did. That was the issue.
What I see is that I was able to confirm all the stuff because people are saying, oh, do you have absolute confirmation? Do you have absolute confirmation? If we never reached out to him, would we have absolute confirmation? I mean, yeah, there is the picture, but supposedly the picture wasn't enough, is what I've been seeing, which I think is pretty ridiculous.
Hold on, what picture? The picture of them meeting up?
The picture of them meeting up, yes.
Okay, but do we know before that he knew about his age? Because there's a difference between him messaging someone.
Okay, so are you saying it was okay? Are you saying it was okay?
I'm not saying it's okay.
To message a minor inappropriately and joke about it.
I'm saying we need to know his age. I'm saying we need to know his age.
Hey, fellas.
Are you saying that if someone
so he didn't even know he was a minor? If he's fighting so much on this, that's what it sounds like.
sleeps with a minor, you're saying, oh, they can just pull the, I didn't know their age card, and then just get off scot-free? Is that what you're saying? So why are you getting all angry at me for?
Because you didn't confirm the age. You didn't know.
Yeah, I reached out to a lot of people.
No, dude, shut the fuck up.
Okay, let's bring the temperature down.
Yeah, you want to disrespect me? You want to disrespect me? Why do I have to continue talking to you? Why don't I just you right now?
Smaggle, just calm down. There's no need. I understand.
No.
I
see why he's upset. I see why he's upset because people were trying to say I was being transphobic because I was calling out this guy for being a creep.
Hold on, wait a second. I'm not. What? I thought you would say, dude.
I literally hopped on this stream and I saw a girl saying that there's no gender.
I'm not here because I'm mad at you because you think that trans people don't exist. That's not what I'm mad
You're
about.
certainly mad at me. I can hear it in your tone.
Yeah, I am mad at you because
you're mad at me.
You the first person you thought of was going to another fucking pedophile before Kris Tyson.
That was not the first person. That was not the first person. I reached out to Charlotte.
The first person was Kris Chan, the guy that does.
That was not the first person. That is
I'm sorry, I forgot.
Wrong. That is false.
Who was the first person then?
First person
multiple people, multiple commentary channels.
Turning Point was a news website, was a journalist. I tried to get this out to people. I exhausted all my resources. The average person doesn't have connections. I didn't have connections, but I did know how to contact.
So you thought the best course of action was going to EDP?
Best course of action, it's what I had. You really think it's all going to be sunshine and rainbows against a channel that has 132 of the world's population subscribe to them? Do you honestly think that?
I also think that, like, no, dude, I can't see anything else. I've mind-fucked myself. Every accusation is a confession, okay? When people come into my chat, and I realize it now, and I'm seeing it now, the self-victimization, oh, I'm supposed to go against a channel with 132 of the world's population. What do you think MrBeast is going to call a fucking hit on you? You think MrBeast is going to, what, order your assassination? You either have a good story or you don't, dude. Like, yeah, is there a big risk if you get it wrong? I guess maybe. You're not even anybody on the internet. Not to say that, like, oh, not to little bro anybody, but just like, it's not like you got an internet reputation or career at stake. And if you have a good story, right, you could literally create, you could create an entire career out of this. So, I mean, there's a huge upside for you as well. Like,
I think that any normal person would look through, oh, what has EDP done in the last few years, and not go through him because he is a pedophile. He's showing his shit to kids.
Listen, I appreciate the content, Brain. I know that some people want blood sports, okay? But clearly that is not the way to get the best out of this conversation, okay? Yes, I think we can all agree going to EDP is fucking retarded, okay? However, what I would say is I at least understand the logic a little bit because EDP did call out Kris from MrBeast, right?
And Keemstar talked about it too. And people were talking about it. I literally had friends that said, hey, look, you did it. He's covering it. And I could just send him all the other information and then have him talk about it, but then he wouldn't do it.
Okay. I understand from the perspective of, someone like yourself who clearly is not about this life, doesn't do the YouTube thing, having that kind of mentality. I think it's retarded, to be clear, but I do at least understand from your perspective. Okay.
And then
no, it was a stupid move. It was a stupid move.
Okay.
No. So the logic behind it is stupid. All right. But if it wasn't for that, I literally wouldn't even have talking to Veritas. I wouldn't have gotten involved with other people. And those videos wouldn't have been made and gotten out there if it wasn't for the fact I reached out to EDP. So, the information's out now. And if I didn't reach out to EDP, the information wouldn't have been out. And it's because I wouldn't have uploaded those videos because there's another guy who we can't talk about who was essentially that put pressure on us to release these videos. And he didn't directly tell us, but I can't talk about
why is there this pressure? I don't understand this pressure argument. Why do you have any pressure? You're like nothing channel.
Yeah, what is the pressure?
I can't talk about that.
Discussed in another video.
You can't talk about that? What do you mean? You can't say why there's pressure?
Hold on, if you can't talk about it, then why bring it up in the first place?
Because that's what happened. That's what happened.
Bullshit. Look, listen, from my perspective, right, I wasn't there when he reached out to EDP, right? I can say it is stupid to reach out to a predator, a known predator, right, and try to get him to cover something about, somebody else, right? Did he reach out to people before EDP? Yes. But I think it was so stupid. I think he could have done it better, and we will learn, right? We will learn.
I've got to be honest, Veritas, you seem like the organ grinder, okay? And you seem like the monkey, to be honest with you. Let's hear more from Veritas about this for a sec, okay?
All right.
Smaggle, have you got a question or a point you want to bring to the table to move forward?
Yes. So my question is, when did...
On call with reporters, former President Trump says he will commit to debating VP Harris, but is not thrilled with ABC as debate host. Says he'd be willing to do more than one debate as well. Ooh, shit.
Did you record this interview with the minor, with Lava, and why did...
Just during the stream, was your take that it was weird but the person isn't a pedophile? I don't know if they're a pedophile or not. In my mind, I don't know how you can match to lolly and not have an attraction to like minors or like minor children. I don't understand that. I've just never gotten that.
Didn't you include the interview in the original video?
Okay, so
but hey, listen, if you want to jerk off to fucking whatever the fuck, knock yourself out. Just don't rape any kids. But it seems weird that it's gonna be like, oh yeah, like I fucking love lolly, but I'm not attracted to minor bodies at all. Okay.
Things, right? The interview, we still had to look through multiple sections of it, right? We had to like depict, okay, he said this here, he said this here. Okay, did we ask him this correctly? There was like information that was, we wanted to double check. And the video, we released it without the interview because, again, I don't want to keep going in circles, but we should have, put the interview in the video. That's a good point. I'm not even going to argue that, but we are going to do that, I think maybe within the next, I would say maybe 2 weeks, we're going to release a much bigger and more comprehensive video where the interview is going to be also there. The interview should have been in the video. You're right.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Sorry, Smaggle, please go on. What else have you got for me?
And also, sorry, one more thing. The interview is really long as well, so it could be a video of its own. You know, just a little side points, but it's still irrelevant.
Actually, I want Prism to answer this because I found a comment. Some other people have found the comment that Lava put out like 4 weeks ago. I sent it to Chud saying this video is not true and disgusting. Ava Chris has never done anything wrong, and for you to make up these lies and create this narrative is just wrong. Also, when you interviewed me for a supposed editing job, why did you lie? So you can take.
Okay, I'm not trying to listen. Okay, my lips to move. I had a lisp. Okay, I'm not trying to make fun of people with lisp or anything like that. But is this, is Bo Black's a person with a lisp? Are there multiple commentary people with lisps, or is this the same person as I was thinking before? Does Bo Blacks have a lisp, or am I thinking of somebody else? It's a Gundam? Is it partially because of his accent?
So after Coney Connors made their tweet alleging that Dr. Disrespect sent inappropriate...
Oh no, he doesn't have it either. Never mind.
I've always been upfront and real with you guys on anything I can be upfront about, and I'm always...
No, this isn't even a lisp, and this guy doesn't have a lisp either.
Take the clips out of context. This is disgusting. And then Prism says, care to comment why when you were 14...
There's a name... Hold on, I should know this. Name for when you cannot pronounce R. Rhoticism? Is that what it's called? Apparently the R sound, I think, is the hardest sound to produce in the English language. Somebody can tell me if I'm wrong or not. I think it's the most difficult one. So this will be the one that in development, children oftentimes will have the most trouble with if they do have trouble, I believe.
Yo.
Hi, what's up?
You want to talk about Ava Kris Tyson?
Yeah, I started looking into it. I was hoping for some juicy shit. It just seems kind of boring and dumb to me. Should I care? Is there anything to care about here?
So, to me, I know you have a personal, different opinion than me on this, but I find the lolly shit pretty gross, but that's the grossest thing that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else, as far as the interactions with minors, like, people are tweeting out saying that they're, like, grooming a kid, they're saying that they're manipulating children, that Kris left his family to message minors, and obviously the implication, right, if you say message minors, the implication behind that is, like, they're messaging, like, here's my fucking trans...
Yeah, it's
right?
really disingenuous.
Like,
and then when he said something about like linked revenge porn to minors, and I was like, Jesus Christ. But he made a YouTube video, and then they had the fappening shit or whatever with that one actress, but it was just in the YouTube video description. He's not like sending DMs to minors with links to it or whatever.
Yeah. So I don't know if Janette McCurdy was underage when those got out. Obviously, that's pretty bad. But
which I don't think
also,
she was.
I mean, I can't deny that when I was 17 or 16, I didn't look at the fappening. Okay, I was looking at Jennifer Lawrence. I was like, whoa, that's cool, you know. And I don't think you should spread that as a public content creator.
Wait, you were looking at leaked revenge porn nudes of people? You said, Turkey Tom?
Yeah, absolutely.
You consumed a lot of revenge porn when you were a minor. You said?
Absolutely.
Okay, while saying the N-word.
While saying the N-word.
Hey. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
To be clear, I don't think that's a good thing to do. But
say the N-word, consume revenge porn, or be a minor.
Be trans. No, just kidding. Okay. Realistically, though, yeah, I mean, the lolly stuff to me is the worst part, and I think people are kind of missing the point of the Shadman stuff. And I wish commentary channels weren't glossing over the Shad stuff, because to me, there's a lot more substance there. Shadman wasn't just a lolly artist, okay? You know, I don't like lolly stuff, but if you want to make the argument, oh, it's not real children, you know, whatever. It's kind of a stalemate, in my opinion, there, right? There's not much I can really say.
But he drew caricatures of like real people, right?
Caricatures is putting it lightly. Shadman was like fawning over Daphne Keane, the actress in Logan, and like DMs. He was like, she's an IRL lolly. I love her so much. And then he drew her being raped by Hugh Jackman. And then her management saw it and got his website shut down. Okay. And this is like a consistent problem for him, right? So it's like
an IRL lolly. Jesus.
Yeah, he was. My opinion is that Shadman is a pedophile. Did he molest anyone? No. My opinion is that he is attracted to children. I think you probably have to be a pedophile to draw a real child that you see in real life, fantasize about her, and then draw her being raped. I think that's probably pedophilia. But people are not talking about that, and instead they're talking about this investigation stuff, all these DMs. Some of the DMs that I've seen, not from that one guy's video, but some of the DMs I've seen released on Twitter seemingly have already been proven to be fake. And their DMs, I think, Drama Alert and some other account posted. Some of them, I think, do appear to be real, like Snapchat messages, but to me, they're contextless. The biggest thing for me is figuring out what else was going on in those conversations, because in and of itself, like, you know, Kris Tyson at 22 making like edgy, sexual, gross jokes to like people who are 14, 15. That is pretty, it's foul. It's foul. But the question for me is, can it be chalked up to like irresponsibility, or is there like explicit proof that he was like trying to like meet up with these kids and do shit like that? Like seemingly, when that one person, what was their name from that kid's video where he's sitting on the picnic table, Lava or whatever, that guy. He, first of all, said that nothing bad happened between him and Kris. So
Which
already,
also doesn't matter really that much, though, because technically, if it's a grooming victim, you would expect them to defend the abuser. Not to say that Ava is an abuser, but I'm just saying. But yeah, but I mean, like the fact that you already don't have anything from them, yeah.
It's that combined with the lack of anything substantial.
Yeah.
And if they had been like sexting and talking about nudes and then they met up, obviously that's a pedophilia thing. But from what I can tell from the DMs, they look very bad, but considering that they met up with MrBeast, and then I think he was like, they played Uno together. It's disgusting. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, obviously there's, stuff to criticize Kris for. Kris does seem to be kind of a freak in some ways, but is Kris a
Wait, are they
child
still, or are all
molesting?
of these DMs and all of these interactions like 4+ years old?
From what I've seen, they're all pre-2020, including all the Shadman tweets are pre-2020 as well. Now, the Shadman stuff does bother me quite a bit, and I would question Kris on that for sure.
Sure.
But beyond that, the other stuff I've seen seems to be reaching. I got to look into it more, but it seems to be kind of reaching for something, grasping at straws. And once again, I feel like the real point you could get Kris Tyson on is getting lost. And any Shadman criticisms are going to go out the window once Kris or anyone from the MrBeast camp responds, because they're going to be like, all these people are claiming that Kris groomed a kid, which didn't happen,
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's my understanding so far. But maybe there will be more when I look into it, where I'll be like, Kris is a fucking, whoa, Kris pedo. But I haven't seen that.
Uh-oh. Oh. Hello.
Hello. Hello, Tom. And hello, Steven.
Wow, you saw
Hi,
perms
who
in
are
this
you?
Discord. This is a legendary friend of the stream.
Wait, is this?
Wait, is this? This is Anavoir. Hi.
No way. Yo, what's up, Anavoir?
Wait, stop. Okay, hold on. I got a lot of shit to do today. Give me your 1-minute take. What do you want? Go ahead.
My 1-minute take is that, isn't it bad enough, though, that she bought art from Shadman, knowing, well, I guess she could claim that she didn't know.
Yeah, I think, but what Tom is saying is probably true in that, like, and then this also ties into what I was saying about, like, Israel, Palestine. People, instead of, like, criticizing a thing, people go instantly to the worst possible thing, and then it makes it impossible to talk about any underlying bad thing. So, for instance, I think there's probably arguments to be had that the widespread distribution of lolicon is not the best thing. There's probably really strong arguments that the widespread distribution of lolicon drawn of particular people isn't a good thing. And if you believe that, there's a really good argument that you probably shouldn't financially support those people. But that conversation is completely off the table now, because now everybody's just obsessed over whether or not Ava has groomed and, like, a minor. Like, that's the issue, yeah. Nobody can even talk about the other thing.
I think that's exactly it. Like, I agree, Anna. Like, what Kris did do is very bad. But the conversation publicly is being completely taken away from that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, you see? I'm glad you see.
That's kind of a shame, because I don't know. I guess I find that kind of disturbing, though, to buy art from lolicon. I mean, okay, isn't part of the issue, though, that, like, not only, like, the funding of lolicon, it's called lolicon, I think, right? I'm sorry, I don't know the terms.
Yeah,
really.
yeah. That would be the term, I think, yeah.
But that the viewing of it could possibly exacerbate certain people's
Inclinations to kids?
inclinations to perpetrate. Yeah, can't.
I have no idea. I don't think there's ever been any research linked to that, but it's probably a really hard topic to research, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Well, before you leave, will you praise Skibidi or no? Anna,
Praise
what do you think?
Skibidi. Sure.
Don't do that. I don't even know what that means.
Oh, Acheeto.
What do you want, Cheeto?
Oh, Acheeto.
Hello, Thomas. I was just going to ask something, because we're talking about Shadman right now. I'd seen Keemstar put out a tweet saying that he had a private conversation with Kris Tyson about the fact that Shadman had drawn his daughter when she was, I believe, 8 years old, like giving to Donald Trump. And in Keemstar's tweet basically says like he's still upset about it or something. And
wait, hold on. I'm so sorry. I short-circuited halfway through that sentence. I'm sorry. Shadman drew whose daughter?
Keemstar's.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Okay, go ahead. Sorry. And then Keemstar was still upset about that. Okay.
Yeah, and I would be very curious because Keem hasn't like said anything that Kris didn't know about like this history or anything, right? Which is like you'd think that you would want to include that when discussing the situation. You know what I mean?
If you're that much of a Shadman fan, where you're buying his art and you're like responding to a lot of his posts, you probably know what he's been doing. I would.
That's what. Well, that's what I'm saying. Is that people are going to say that Kris, like they're going to suggest that there was no idea and that they just commissioned this artwork, and the sample size of what they made seen from Shadman is not adequate enough to prove that she knew about Lolly stuff. But then just to see this as like Kris not pleading ignorance themselves, or at least likely not, as Keemstar didn't mention it, I feel like that's like a pretty big indictment on them now.
Maybe. I thought there's going to be some crazy shit happening. Any final thoughts?
She was 10.
Based.
Okay.
Despacito.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you praise Skibidi before you leave?
Shut up.
Kimmy
Bye.
Marie?
Leave. See you later. Okay. We've mutually decided it's best I permanently step away from all things MrBeast. Ooh, Ava has stepped away. Rip.